Any minor observation, any trivial stumble, if it all gets under your skin, you're relinquishing control. The reality is the most unshakable people don't encounter less difficulties. They just master how they react. Envision moving through your journey undisturbed. No excessive rumination, no more emotional outbursts. Simply total mastery. Here I'll show you ways to discipline your consciousness to behave unaffected by everything. Mastering the nothing bothers me mindset is essential. The world is full of distraction, others' judgments, everyday irritations, unforeseen roadblocks. What if I reveal that genuine power emerges from perfecting purposeful neutrality? The key is learning to disconnect your reactions from outside events. When you let circumstances to dictate your mood, you become a puppet to forces beyond your control. But when you train your mind to remain unmoved, you become the master of your destiny. As you incarnate this perspective, you exercise dominance silently. Reflect on the most impactful leaders throughout time. They never were people who acted on impulse to each offense. Their strength was not in their ability to argue, but in their ability to stay unmoved. Picture a situation where someone insults you in public. The instinctive reaction of many would be fury. However, what results if you merely grin and leave? You extract the provocateur's influence. Identical principles govern defeats and obstacles. People who comprehend the force of detachment perceive loss merely as feedback, a valuable lesson. They do not internalize failure. They merely witness, adjust, and progress. How do you cultivate this magnitude of command? Develop the custom of stopping before responding. Question internally, does this situation truly affect my greater purposes? One more essential factor lies in mental projection. Envision yourself as a person who moves through life unaffected. As you strengthen this representation in your consciousness, it transforms into your truth. Emotional separation doesn't mean repressing sentiments. It's about mastering them. Picture this. You're within a fierce debate. Do you let their words control your emotions, or should you smirk impassively? As you embrace this method, tension diminishes, clarity increases. What you emphasize, you draw. When you take control of your thinking and feelings, you transform into the designer of your destiny. Conditioning yourself for emotional separation does not mean you become cold. It indicates you stop letting outside powers control your internal state. Your sentiments support you, not the other way around. Strategic detachment is extraordinary ability. We're conditioned to believe we must care about everything. But true freedom arrives when you understand that numerous matters are insignificant. Indifference doesn't mean apathy. It means prioritization. Not all conflicts merit engagement. When you stop reacting to any small disturbance, you recover mastery. Stop seeking approval. Chasing acceptance is entrapment. The second you provide another person's strength to define your worth, you relinquish mastery over your individual journey. True confidence isn't given. It's forged through individual autonomy. The most attractive persons don't supplicate for acceptance. They possess their identity, flaws and all. Liberty arrives when you abandon the requirement to be liked by everyone. Regardless of your actions, someone will always have something to say. So why squander your power endeavoring to appease everybody? If you desire to liberate yourself from the approval trap, start by asking yourself, whose judgment genuinely counts? An additional vital move involves developing self-approval. As you begin acknowledging your inherent significance, outside validation turns insignificant. The instant you cease pursuing approval is when you begin existing with liberty. Condemnation is inescapable, but how you handle it determines your power. Judgment only possesses as much strength as you provide it. When you react emotionally, you permit it to command you. The most powerful people don't permit condemnation to unsettle them. They evaluate it with lucid thinking. Extract what's beneficial and abandon what's left. Examine condemnation through rationality, not sentiment. Two kinds of condemnation occur: constructive and destructive. Beneficial judgment is precious. Destructive criticism, however, is intended to tear you apart. Not all voices deserve your attention. When you respond to criticism with tranquil neutrality, you manifest to all that your confidence is unshakable. The strongest people don't dread judgment. They utilize it intelligently or they ignore it completely. Tension uncovers persons. Some shatter, however the resilient remain unshaken, since they condition their thinking before the hurricane emerges. The essential factor consists of distancing from a necessity from mastery. Not everything will go according to plan, but you do not react emotionally. You reply with tactics. Most people crack under pressure as they oppose truth. Your consciousness is your combat arena. The thoughts you allow will determine whether you win or lose. To condition an unwavering consciousness, you must build mental habits. Gratitude to counter negativity. Rigor to supersede idleness. Daily you need to condition yourself to stay unshaken, to hesitate before responding. The majority are captives of their sentiments, but the ones who control their minds govern everything. Cognitive force is forged in the small, everyday moments. One of the most powerful mental habits you can develop is detachment. Separation doesn't signify unconcern. It signifies mastery. One more essential factor lies in strictness. Consciousness perpetually chases comfort. However, strictness reshapes consciousness. Commence minimally. Pledge to practices that reinforce your mental strength. Real power moves in silence. It doesn't seek attention. It just executes and lets the results speak. The noisiest persons are often the weakest. If you want to be respected, quit proclaiming your objectives. Success is not built through words. It's forged through execution. The further you speak, the more you attract examination. As you operate quietly, nobody perceives your approach. The most powerful people don't waste energy proving themselves. They let their success do the talking. Stillness isn't dormant, it's tactics. When you do speak, your words carry weight. In a world where everyone is desperate to be noticed, be the individual who doesn't chase notice. When others seek notice, you seek perfection. This is a distinction between people who speak of achieving magnificent goals and those who actually do them. The instant you see supplying outside approval, you'll perceive something. Persons will commence observing. They will wonder how you did it. And that's when you'll understand you've truly mastered the game, not as you announce to all, but since you demonstrated it, without uttering anything.